Hello my friends, this is part 2 in a 2-part series on the golden mean aspects. I'm making this 2-part series of videos in September 2025 with new information, and in this part 2 I want to talk about the orbs of the golden mean aspects and the colors and other settings I used for putting them in a chart wheel so you can just look at a chart wheel and see what's going on. And then we'll look at a chart wheel to get an idea of what this is like. So on the right side of the spreadsheet that I made of all these possible golden mean aspects, I put the orbs. And let's go all the way to the right. I entered all this stuff. This was a crazy amount of work, insane. Let me go to the top so we can read what these column titles are. The orbs that I like are the medium ones. I created a large, and then I created a small. I decided the large is large, or just, it was large because there are a lot of golden mean aspects. And, you know, I just want to see what the most important ones are. I get kind of overwhelmed by all these lines. Maybe they're all important, but for start, I wanted to see the big stuff. And I made the small orbs, and the small orbs seemed to miss something, so I came up with medium orbs. And here's how the orbs work. With the large orb, this row here, row 8, you can't tell because it's off the screen on the left, but this is the one, this is the golden angle, 137.5. And for the large orbs, I set it to 4 degrees. So a 4-degree orb for the golden angle. Remember, the golden angle is the big one, the primary one, 137.5. There's like probably no doubt about that. And then for the medium orb, I took half, 2 degrees orb. And for the small, I used a 1-degree orb. So we start with either a 4-degree orb, 2-degree orb, or 1-degree orb. And then it's pretty elegant and straightforward from there. The next level is a golden mean of a golden mean, so it seems pretty straightforward. I mean, Linda came up with the same idea independently. I think it's a pretty clearly intuitive idea that the orb would be the golden mean of the orb. The angle is the golden mean of the angle. The orb is going to be also proportionally smaller. Seems pretty obvious almost. So if I multiply 4 times 0.618, I get 2 degrees, 28 minutes, 19.7 seconds to be exact. And that's the orb for the golden mean of the golden mean, whatever that angle is. We can go back and look. It's not important. Whatever the golden mean, second level of the conjunction golden means, the 0.618 times 137.5, that's the orb. And then you just keep taking the golden mean. So going down the column, you're taking the golden ratio of the previous orb. That's all there is to it. And when you get down to the bottom of this, you're down to a 5-minute orb for the big orbs. Let's go up here. The small orb is right next to it. It's 1 minute rounded off. So that's what I was saying. If you go down 9 levels, you're ending up with the orbs that are about 1 minute. And then the orb, the medium orb, is going to be about 2 minutes in size. So, yeah, so you end up with the, with these orbs. So, over here, here's the medium orb, column A, and there's the 2.5-minute orb. We'll round up to 3 minutes. So I just stopped. When I got to an orb that's around a few minutes, the other aspects are hardly ever going to show up. I mean, you have to have that angular distance, like within a minute for it to show up. They're basically not going to show up. Almost never. So, because you'd have to have an angular distance almost exactly that amount. So that's a good thing for us. They kind of fade out of existence after a while. So by going down 9 levels, we have really just about everything. The question is, did we include enough of the columns? Should we be including also the 90 degrees, the square ones, all 9 levels? I talked about that in the previous video. But that's the orbs, very simple. And then for the opposition orb, which is based on 180 instead of 360, the orb is half. And for the squares, it's half of that. So you'll see we have half the orb. Well, I'll show you in the program what it looks like. What I did is I entered all, after I did all this, then I finally could enter it into a program. I used the Sirius software. If you use Solar Fire, you should be able to enter all these values into it as well. And by the way, if you're a YouTube member, I will upload for YouTube members this file that if you happen to have the Sirius software, you'll have these aspect sets. You won't have to enter them like I did. You can just select them. And maybe we can get a file for Solar Fire or other programs, and you'll just have them. You won't have to enter them all in. So here's a chart wheel, and these lines are the golden mean aspects. I've selected only golden mean aspects. And this fellow, Marshall Applewhite, not the most pleasant person in the world. He's a cult leader, pretty weird guy, did a lot of bad things. This is his 43 vibration chart. I'm going to make a video on cult leaders and their 43 vibration chart, which for all the cult leaders I looked at is very strong, or some vibration similar to 43. And I've never seen a golden mean aspects as clear, sharp, and strong as this. I mean, I've looked at hundreds, but this is very unusual. He has this angle here. The red ones are conjunctions. They're based on the 360. So in the previous video, I went over, what that. Well, let me remind you. Let me remind you right here. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. The conjunctions are the ones that start with 137. No, they start with 222.5. Goes then, which we skip because it's bigger than 180. Then it goes to the 137.5. It's the 137.5, 85, 52, 32.5, and I go down 9 levels, even smaller. And the 180 starts with a golden mean of 180, and that's the 111.2, 68.8, etc. So I use red. Let's go back to the wheel. Red. Those are your main ones based on conjunctions. Blue are the ones based on oppositions. And what we see here that confirms our intuition that we need to include both the conjunction golden means and the opposition golden means is that if we did not include the opposition golden means, which are blue, we would not see this symmetrical pattern. I have Ceres, the asteroid Ceres in here, and Ceres is right at the midpoint of Mercury and Mars, and it's making an opposition. So by including the opposition, we get these dynamic patterns, which intuitively it just kind of makes sense. It's 1/2 that distance. So if we look at this midpoint, by the way, Mars is at Mercury's Ceres. Let's go to the midpoints. Do I have Ceres selected? I do. Mars is at the Mercury-Jupiter midpoint, 8 minutes. Let's look at that wheel again. Mars is at the Mercury-Jupiter midpoint. And these first lines are the golden angle. If we look at the aspect grid from Mercury to Mars, it says G1CO. That means it's G means golden mean, 1 means the first level, and CO means conjunction. So it's telling you right there what it is. And then he's got this other symmetrical pattern with Ceres at Mercury Mars. If we look at the midpoints, Ceres at Mercury Mars, 11 minutes. The whole thing is extremely strong. So anyway, there it is. What I want to show you in this extraordinarily strong golden mean pattern, again, I've never seen anything quite as clear as this using the medium orbs, is if we go into the customize, and we go into the customize aspects, here are the golden mean aspects. Up here is the golden mean large orbs. That's where the Landshite orbs were. I just changed them to the large orbs, and then I added the medium and small orbs to the bottom of this list of aspects. And you can see I've got the medium orbs selected. If I click on customize this aspect set, let me drag this over here so you can see it. Here they are. G1 conjunction means golden mean, first level of conjunctions, 137.5 with the 2-degree orb. And so on. There's the second level, third level. Second level's 84 degrees, 59 minutes, 4 seconds. And it's a golden ratio of 2 degrees, 1 degree, 14 minutes, etc. I added them in. Now what I did is, as you go to higher levels, I made it a lighter and lighter color of red. So when you see the light pinks, you know that those are high levels of the conjunction. I thought it was pretty clever, right? So you can see that it's a conjunction because it's red, and the lighter the color, you know it's a higher level, just so you know. And the same thing with the oppositions. The oppositions are blue, starting with that 111 degrees, 14 minutes, 46 seconds, and bright blue, and then, a rich blue, and then it gets lighter and lighter as you go up the conjunctions. And then we have the complementary angles. What I put here is G2. There isn't a G1 because it already appears somewhere else. A G2, C for conjunction, C for complementary. And the first complementary angle that we see that hasn't been used before is the 95 degrees, 0 minutes, 51 seconds. And I put that in dashed. So the dashed lines are the complementary angles, same colors. So complementary of conjunction, golden means are red, and then here's your blue, and then it ends here. These last ones are not used, and that ends up being 8 times 4 plus 3, 35 aspects. So when you look at this wheel, you know the solid red are your conjunctions, your dashed red are conjunction complementary angles. And if you're doubtful about whether complementary angles are important, you can just leave out the dashed lines and, just keep in your mind, maybe they're not important. And the same thing for the blue, which are the 180. And you'll see this very light dashed blue line for a week as an example. And the thicker the line, the smaller the orb. So you very clearly have all the information. You know whether it's a conjunction and opposition. You know whether it's complementary or not. You know roughly what level it is by how dark the color is, or paler and pinker it is. So it gives you a pretty good visualization just of the general idea of what's going on. And especially that the lines are thicker when the orb is smaller. It's really helpful. I think that's pretty much it. Let me see what else is in my PowerPoint. So that's the orbs, and that's how I put them in the program. This talks about Marshall Applewhite's 43 vibe. He's got 2 overlapping 4-planet patterns, etc. Incredibly strong. I'll be talking about that in another video on the cult leaders and 43 vibe, and a few other vibes really similar to 43. That's it, my friends. Golden mean, I think this is a step forward. There's still some things we're not totally clear about. And there's limitations in this program as to how many aspects we can put in a chart wheel. But I think we're making progress. Much improved from Landscheid gave us the idea. He built it, he researched it. And if he's still conscious somewhere, he's passed away, he's probably happy to see this work being improved and developed to the next level. Okay, that's it. There's my email address, my website, and there is a membership. If you want to meet twice a week live online in a Zoom meeting, that's available for $10 a month. All the videos now are free to the public. Thank you very much, my friends, for watching this and participating in this. And if you're not a subscriber, by the way, if you could just subscribe, it's free. It helps a lot. It helps promote the work. Okay, thank you very much. God bless. Namaste.